Happy Friday. Here is the 55 Chevy. We dropped her off earlier this week at Most Media Blasting. We had them sandblast the major parts. Found nothing that was too surprising. We knew this was gone. It's getting replaced. The thing that really mattered was that this perfectly straight, smooth roof stayed that way. So they did soda blasting on that for us. We're going to get her back to the shop. We had all those crates arrive from Golden Star Auto this week, and it is time to start fitting the sheet metal.
Got the 55 back in the lift bay, and it is ready to go up in the air. I threw a piece of oak across the bottom of this rocker just so it could spread some of the weight out. We will be very rear heavy, so we're gonna make sure that that's good and strapped down up there in the front. And before I go to lift it and get it up out of the way, I've got to replace that little lower channel there, the lower channel on this side, and then I need to come back here and cut the rest of the trunk floor and everything out of here, because when we drop this down onto the chassis next time, the full floor and the full trunk will be sitting on the frame bolted down for us to tack it together. So let's go ahead and get this all chopped out back here, get this thing up on the lift, and we'll go mount the floor onto this chassis. So there is a lot of lead work in this car. Every one of these seams, any damage that was done to it was done long after lead work was done, and is done with this really crappy filler. But all of the original lead is still in here, and being that I'm cutting this out and getting this floor section out, I really needed to melt that lead out of the way so that I could find the seam, because I do have a repair panel for the center here. Any bit of work that's going to have to be done on the bottom of this little tail section piece here on the side of the trunk, I'm going to repatch and repair, especially on this side. They just went nuts freaking trying to braze this thing and did nothing but melt and melt and melt more holes. So we'll get that patched up, but not today. Right now I'm just going to get this center piece cut out, the rest of the original trunk floor cut out, leaving my bracing in place so that we can get the floor in. We'll go take a look at that trunk floor and see. I believe it goes all the way up to underneath this. Means I might have to find more spot welds here and in there. We get the sawzall out, cut these two freaking tacks off, gigantic tacks off that I put in there. it's time to go ahead and get those two front bolts out. Get this thing lifted up off the frame. It's just getting in the way now for me to get to these areas back up in here. Sweep some of this up so I'm not kneeling yet, but I'm going to use that freaking chassis right there to bolt the floor and everything to and get the body together, and we're going to use that whole thing while we're doing all the fabrication work on this body, because the new chassis that's going underneath here, it's all the same mounts, everything is positioned exactly the same, but it's already painted, powder coated, ready to go, and I don't want to be beating that thing up. So that will go next door. We will bolt the floor and trunk pan to it, and next time you see that come in here, it'll have the floor attached and we'll be ready to lower this thing onto there. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting this junk out of the corner, patch them spots up, and keep on going. Kind of hoping that this did get blasted a little bit better up underneath here, but I think we'll be fine. I mean, this tub's getting replaced, this is getting replaced, so fortunately that means I gotta take the wire wheel out here and just clean up some of this mess down here so I can find the pinch welds and nicely cut that apart and get it ready for the new one. Worst things have happened. Alright, well that closes that side up and that looks good. Everything I think is going to be fine back here to get the trunk floor welded in. There's a couple of holes that go through here, but this is getting cut out because we're putting larger tubs in. And that's not a hole, it's a trunk undercoating or something. So this is all good to go. I'm going to switch you guys around to the other side. We're going to start chopping this corner out over here, and it looks like, probably shouldn't say it out loud, but it looks like it's in better shape than this one, so hopefully we can just cut the pinch welds out, get that out, and be done. And step up here to the last two repairs in front of the rear wheel well on the interior. Those are much easier panels. It's just 290s, and we'll get that tacked in. Alright, so this side is in better shape, but I'm still gonna have to do a little patch right there. But much quicker, little trapezoid. I'll make this piece while they're in. up there to those front two pieces and get this floor in this thing. Alright, so this is the last of ugliness on this side of the car. Kind of folds in right here, but that's okay, and then the rocker goes around it. So I'm going to cut that back and make it so it overlaps the edge of the rocker. So when I put the new rocker in, it'll overlap just like the original one did. Alright, so let's make this piece 3 inches longer. Alright, got that piece cut. It's pretty much exactly where I want it. My little clamps, unfortunately, will not hold this thing in place. So we got both sides all trimmed up, cleaned up, ready to go. Gutters are beautiful now, and everything is ready. Obviously, we'll fix up this toe board later. I do have a brand new firewall with the toe board connected to it, but it's a smoothie. It doesn't have any of these holes in it, and we are going to be using the original heater. So there's 3 holes over there we're going to still want to use, and the brakes, booster, and everything will still be on the firewall, and the column will come through, and the wiring. So there'll be a lot of wires that we will be using, a lot of holes we'll be using, and this thing is in ridiculously good shape. I do also just have a toe board, but I think what I'm going to do is just cut the corners out where it's rotted here and there, and then when we go to mount the motor, I will deal with a few dents and stuff in the center of this firewall from different installs, because I might have to make this whole area here a little bit wider for the big block to go in. So we'll wait until we get it on the actual chassis to do that firewall area. Wow, that's it. All right, floor is mostly in and the car is mobile. We got it moved back over to the paint side for now until we get some more time to get the rest of these little pieces together. I've got to put the tubs in. That's why we've got that big gap there. And actually the trunk pan is not secured in here at all. It's just kind of floating and the body weight is sitting on it on the back. But we did get all of this cleaned up back in these corners. That all looks beautiful. I textured the bottom of the rockers in and just put a clamp up here. Everything lines up perfectly, but we are going to be replacing these rockers with new ones. So next time we jump on it, I will melt this lead out here, get the rockers in, get the tubs put in the back and the rest of the trunk pan welded in place. And then I've got to do the pinch welds and everything on these seat brackets, get those welded back into place, and rebuild what I need of this one once we get the tubs in there. The toe board area, I didn't do any spot welds or anything in this corner because I do have a toe board in the other room, and I'm going to cut the bottom corners out of the toe board on both sides up here and get that all patched up and welded in. And then as we come around to the back, everything is fitted in where it's supposed to be so that I can get the new lower trunk pan tacked and welded into place back here. Once that piece is in, you can see there's a few pieces I need to rebuild, a little bit below the gutter here on that side and just right at the tail light, and then most of the bottom part of this quarter and this tail light section here. This piece is a separate piece. It's not part of that quarter that we got, so I think I'll have to make a new one of those. Good thing is the driver's side one is in perfect condition, so I can just make a mirror image of that, get that together, and get the rest of that bronze and junk that everyone put in out of there. But that's a pretty good for a day's worth of work, I think. Very happy with it. Everything lined up. The body dropped right on top of the floor perfectly. No issue there other than my cross bracing that I had in the back got in the way. Otherwise, she flopped right in like it was supposed to. Everything fit beautifully thanks to Golden Star, and we'll keep you up to date on how the rest of their parts come together on this thing.
Come on, you can do it. Come on, just push the button. Push the button. Come on, push it.